So come on in, take a sip, and let's wind down on the New York Times HUMPday grid. And today we're kind of going back to an old throwback, Vino de España, a wonderful wine from Spain, and it is the Artisan of Bodegas. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I've been quite familiar with it. It is full-bodied. It has got a deep red, deep down. You're not seeing your watch. You're not seeing your keyboard. You're not seeing anything through this except for the halo between the glass and the body of the wine. On the nose, it's pure cassis with a bit of red apple and some black stone fruit. Mostly red apple coming out, but I gotta tell you, on the balanced palate, it is there. I would say a 50-50 acid-tannin ratio, probably a 12.5% alcohol. Something I could easily check, but I'd rather just kind of guess it based on experience. But this is a fine wine, and it would suit almost anything, but especially something lasagna or pizza-like. It really kind of calls to me. And I'm sure they make a low-carb version of something like that out there that I could have, but I'm telling you, this is a remarkable wine. So if you get your hands on one, this is a 2022, and it's about to be 3 years old. So, and we got a couple of cases of this, so we'll be drinking it for a while, but that's part of the joy. Okay, so jumping into our grid, we have here a Matthew Stock and Brooke Husick co-construction, edited by Joel Fagliano. And the mini today, by the way, was pretty clever. But let's hop into our HUMPday grid and see what we got. Let's see what's going on for the day. Birthday. Wow, those are separated, huh? So we're clearly trying to say this is the day of birth and a party to it, I imagine. Now, party doesn't tell me singular or plural. First off the cuff, I'm thinking OB-GYN. But there's nothing to distinguish, abbreviations, right? So I don't really know. I'm going to leave it alone. Cabinet member Holland, and I think that's Deb. I think it is. BA in communications. Well, this must have something to do with the theme. It's a long one, and it's got a question mark. So even if it doesn't have anything to do with the theme, if it's themeless, I still just don't know yet. Canvas holder, I'm assuming, is an easel. So item fit into a thole, and that's a crazy cool word. That's actually the little ring that sits on either of the top edges of a rowboat. Any sort of rowing boat, whether you're, in a scull or, whatever, makes no difference, right? So this is an oar that fits into those things. And I guess a birthday party would be a doula. And I'm actually friends with two different doulas. One I've known since I was 13 years old, whose husband was a counselor of mine, while growing up, a really great guy. Largest NATO member's got to be USA. And I work with a doula / midwife currently in my current position. So I absolutely love it. That's fantastic that they've made a headline. I'm assuming I'm not wrong. Graduation day wear at the University of Hawaii. I don't know, but I would imagine they're lays. And distinguished athletes. Perhaps all pros? We can check that real quick. Energizing force. What do you think? Spark? Let's shoot for spark and check ourselves. Blood work and such in medical lingo. Yes, of course. We're talking about labs. That helps me a great deal. Well, looks like we're going to have Braille something here for our BA in communications. Dungeons and Dragons character with healing powers. And I don't know anything about the game. I might have played around at it when I was 10 or 11, but only because a friend had it. But I've gotten pretty familiar through the years due to, squeeze plays with baseball, RBI, you're good. I got used to it because of the crossword constantly making references to these things, like clerics, mages, and so on. Oyster relative, thinking a clam. Hissing tires problem, maybe a leak. And why did I just do that? I don't know. Princess with space buns. All right. Leia's make an appearance today, and I got the hiccups, so maybe some of this will help. All better. Afflict could be to ale. And website that contributed to the decline of road atlases, and that would be MapQuest. I'll never forget it. But interestingly enough, back in the day, we didn't have anything to transfer that data to. So you still printed it out, still killed a bunch of trees. So it was kind of... Doha native, I guess it'd be a Qatari. I've been to Doha. Actually, very hot, but very, very nice. Well-designed city. I love it. Severe could be harsh. And what is wrong with this today? You know, I'm getting so used to doing the Guardian, and they have completely different characteristics on the keyboard, and I guess I'm just going to have to be a little bit more cognizant, and I apologize, sincerely, deeply. Cin-Cin, I promise. Confident could be sure. To those of you alive in the 70s and 80s, do you remember those commercials? Confidence, dry and secure. Raise your hand if you're sure. Pi's last name in the life of Pi, and I'll never forget when I saw this, I thought, oh, that's interesting. And so I guess we're talking about a Braille alphabet, maybe. So B, A, Braille alphabet. Okay, works for me. Pearls in a drink could be boba. Warrior 1 or Warrior 2 in yoga, I have no idea, but I'm assuming these are poses. Error, experience. Okay, so maybe user, error, user experience. Pick up the tab, comes to buy. And of course, we have the Yeti making his way in here. Okay, MS in biology. I don't know. Do you see microscope slide in there? We don't really have enough to be for sure, but I'm going to put it in there because I like doing that. It makes me feel, I don't know, confident, dry and secure. So I can raise my hand when I'm sure, but I'm not just yet. So let's see. It could be a microscope slide, MS, right? Biology, I mean, pretty simple thing to pick up on too. Energizes, perhaps, is amps up. And let's get back up here. Is that true about me? Maybe, am I a good introspective question we should all ask ourselves? I ask myself all kinds of stuff. Every day is about my flaws. And you know what the answer usually is? Yeah, that's a flaw. But I think it's a pretty good thing to recognize my flaws. The worst part is that I never want to do anything about them. So, cunning plans, I guess ploys or plots. Guess we can figure that out in a second. Alternative to white or wheat. How about rye giving us a ploy? Okay, and then reasonable. Reasonable, maybe sane? Italian fashion capital to Italians in Milan. No, Milan. College to an Aussie. I'm thinking they go to uni, don't they? And truly legendary could be iconic. PhD in computing. Do you see it in there? Because I don't. I don't see anything just yet. Just a POC. I don't even know what that could be. Maybe a pocket something. Garments worn by cobber tossers. And those would probably be kilts. If you've never seen cabber or cobber tossers or cobber tossing, it's a fun thing to look up on YouTube. Saw some firsthand when I was in the UK last, as a matter of fact. They were drilling each other out there. The Royal Scots Dragoons or whoever they were. But anyway, it was really cool to see that. But it is thinking about balancing act and an act of strength. It's kind of cool stuff. So check that out if you get a chance. Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm just going to go with pocket just because. Verb on an invoice perhaps is to remit. It seems to me an online shorthand. Well, it seems like it'd be an IMO. But I think we're looking for an, in my humble opinion, even though there's really nothing there to tell me that it's a humble opinion, is there? It seems to me that doesn't denote humility. I don't know. Let's just see how we're at. See, group of problem solvers. Well, off the bat, I think we got a math something there. And spot for drying dishes, perhaps a rack. So this is coming along nicely. Bounce off the walls could be to echo. This is great. This is a really tight little grid. And there hasn't as yet been any inelegant anything. This has been great. We've had some really good grids in the last 3 or 4 days. This has been fabulous. Not accidental, could be mint. I'm loving it. Tennis champion Naomi Osaka, I do believe. And I mean, it could be an Osaka with an E. I can't remember, but accessory that might read prom king or bride to be maybe a sash. And website builder for short. I'm assuming they're going for a developer. Let's see. Hooray for me. Maybe I did it. I did it. I want to finish this wine. I almost did it. Let's get that in there. What a lovely day, by the way. Kind of cold today. And they still haven't turned on the heat in the building. Probably not going to do that till the 1st of November. My Lord, in the middle of the night by myself down here just freezing to death. Tinder can be used for this. I don't know what could be with an I. I don't know if I'm wrong. I'm assuming this is to light a fire. Otherwise, date would have felt appropriate. Obtain through logic, perhaps derive. One letter short of mocking, taunting, making fun of. Deride. Balanced. Maybe evened. Marshall's friend on How I Met Your Mother. I'm assuming, and I hope that's Ted, or I'll be wrong. PhD in computing. So we got a pocket. Maybe a pocket hard drive? Pocket hard drive, PhD. I'm guessing that's it. Prez depicted in a wheelchair at his DC memorial. I think this is FDR. Contribute to the mix, maybe add in. Speak to could be address. And ran out of battery, so to speak. I guess we died. And Eid Mubarak is our greeting around Ramadan. Pot. Well, I guess we're looking for reefer here because I'm going to figure out how to put that as an ante or something. I don't know. Nothing runs like a deer. Acronymic achievement for Viola Davis, and I'm assuming that's an EGOT. I mean, I would assume. Very talented. That's the Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony. What a heck of a foursome there. Fashion sense could be style. Symbol atop the pyramid on a dollar bill, and I'm going to say I. Soccer org for Chelsea and Manchester United, and that is the E. Oh, God. I guess that's the EPL, because I think this is Soapy. And Sunbeam could be a ray. Ray, a golden drop of sun. Not distinguished by large differences. Okay, I'll have to figure that out. Madly in love could be Gaga. Blank throwing, trendy sport. And I think this is axe throwing. We gotta see this. X would be easy to check though, right? Plastic option for short. It gives me Amex. Gets along well, maybe Joel's. Genre for James Baldwin's Giovanni's Room, familiarly, and that is gay lit. And I'm assuming this is a math team. Check ourselves. Secure to a dock could be to more. Bird symbolizing obsolescence, I'm assuming is a dodo. I feel like I fat fingered something somewhere, and if I did, I'm sorry. Source of many an anonymous political quote, maybe the aide de camp to that representative. South America's Rio de la Plata. Let's see, a matter of degree. So how did we do, Bob? We came in at 13 minutes even. I don't know that I've done that. Maybe I have, but I can't remember ever doing it in an even 13 minutes. But what a joy this grid was. Amazing little grid. I enjoyed this immensely. Oh, fabulous. Just well done. It was clean. It was clever. It had some pretty challenging for a Wednesday type of clue answer combinations. And I really just enjoyed a lot of the double matter that could have. I mean, the stuff that could have been plots and ploys, or even how just one letter change could take something from derision to derision, right? You know, just a beautiful grid. Kudos once again to Matthew Stock and Brooke Husick. So we'll tap this on out of here until tomorrow, and we'll bring down our see you later slide. And I want to say, as in our closing remarks, how wonderful it has been to hear from our friends up in the UK, and they've been especially supportive of me working on the Guardian quick crossword. It's a different animal altogether, and I'm going to tell you something. If you're not used to the jargon, it's very challenging, right? You know, but I'm absolutely loving it. It's exposing me, as Charlemagne said, when you have another language, you have a window to a new soul. And I feel like I have a window to a culture that I am very familiar with, but have not gotten to know to that degree of intimacy. So it's been a fabulous experience. And so until we see you tomorrow for the Thursday grid and the Thursday mini and the Thursday Guardian quick crossword, ich wünsche Ihnen einen schönen Tag noch. Bis später, bis dann, bis morgen. Auf Wiedersehen, tschüss, servus, grüß Gott, ciao, Cin-Cin, and we will see you tomorrow. Until then, be good to yourselves, be especially kind to your neighbors, and be super nice to the person behind you in the line. Take care. Be well.